we got our plugs from ball seeds. These ones were from the California ball grower. See, two different tray sizes. These are the 384, so they're pretty small. Let's see here. These ones are, let's see, the Solo 2 Violet. We got the Solo Blue here. And another 384 tray of Voyage 2 Lavender. We've got ABC 2 Lavender. ABC 2 Blues here. ABCs are the really standard ones, but I do like the Voyage a lot last year, as well as the Kaale last year, but I ordered a little late, so I got what I could. Let's see. These we've got staged for an order pickup today. I do have plugs for sale for anyone who is interested in ordering them like this weekend. Otherwise, they will get planted very, very quickly here. This tray is, Arena Gold. Arena, I think 3, right? So with Lizzie's, the number 1, 2, or 3 is when they bloom. So 2s are like a midsummer, 3s are a little bit later. But since I'm getting these earlier this year, they should bloom still a little earlier. This is, Cherry Sorbet. This was a hot color, actually, this year for orders. I've already taken out 10, but I'll be doing more orders up. To fill the box when you order, you don't want to have a partial box because they're more likely to fall apart. I actually got Bacopa for trying some hanging baskets this year. They were a cheaper plug than buying more Lizzie's than I already did. And Bacopa is like a vine, kind of like ivy. It hangs out of baskets really nicely. So these are the giant purples and these are the giant whites. Then back here I have 5 more trays. And these ones are the, let's see, Arena 3 reds here. And Kaale 3 apricot. I think the color this year is like a peach salmon-ish color. These are the Arena 3 golds back there. These are the deep blues here. And then we have Arena 3 green, which I'm excited about. I did a different green last year, so that's what I've ordered. We have Root Shield on the way. They are very, very much at risk with all sorts of things. This is only my second year growing them. In my first year, I was told to expect a 50% loss in the plugs I ordered, which is crazy to me, to wilt. And I probably lost maybe about 35-40% or so. And it was due to a couple things. Some of them were wilt, but I did pull those very, very quickly. And some of them were more due to the we had a really wet summer. But what it was is it was rain, like we'd get like 4 inches in a single rainstorm, which is not very common for our area. And the water would just wash downhill and not soak in because it was coming down so hard. And we didn't put irrigation in the cut flower beds, so that's a bit of a problem. My Ranunculus, I wanted to do an update on those as well. So we've got Ranunculus planted in this bed and in this bed here, as you can see. And then I have a bunch of crates, which I'll walk out and show you guys, that we moved out of the tunnel already. These ones on this end, for the most part, are leftovers that I left in the ground as a test last year. And you can see I'm already getting buds, but they are a little bit smaller and I am way behind on my fertilizing schedule. So these ones are last year's versus these ones here are the ones that I ordered. It's about 600 that I ordered this year. And you can see, let me see if I can find some. I'm sure there's probably some bud shoots in here just starting. They're really, really slow. So what you'll see is this little mound. I'll show you on these plants. Maybe I can find a better example. You can kind of see they're going to be much thicker when they start shooting up. And they'll look kind of like a leaf cluster at first. I'll show you. This is a bud forming here. So they look like just like a thicker stemmed leaf structure, and then they'll turn into a bud. They do take quite a while to get from this stage, so it's about 90 days from when you transplant to when you'll get blooms. And this year I was really trying to target to get some blooms by mid-May for Mother's Day. And I'll have some from the old ones, but they might be really short. But the weather's been actually really perfect in here in the tunnel. So I'm thinking, the way these plants are looking, I'm thinking there's actually potential that we may start seeing some buds coming up over the next week, which means that we're probably about 3 to 4 weeks out, which means there's hope. But we'll see. You'll remember that I dug this whole bed out and replanted it. But something that happened was our dill seed from our dill we had planted in here last year went everywhere. So that's actually great for cut flower filler. So I'm happy with that. And here I've got kale that's actually going to flower, which is fun. So I'll come and cut this back. The overwintered. Feverfew, I actually have some buds in that back plant. I'm not sure if you'll be able to see them or not. And then these snapdragons I'm hoping will be starting to take off real quick here. I need to feed all of these plants really badly. And you may have noticed the grow bags in the back. Those are the fiber dust tomatoes that I just transplanted out last week. There's a little bit of sunburning on this back leaf here, but for the most part, the cherries are looking really great. The early girls are definitely having a little bit of a harder time here. It's taken off. You can see the big difference in coloring. They were all the same colors. So the Torahina and the Sun Golds have really actually come into it. And the early girls, it's been a little cold. Our extended forecast does have a night down to outdoor temps of 32, but we do have the space heater in here now, which will try to keep this at about 45 degrees or hotter. Not sure if you can hear, the rain just started. And we still have a ton of violas left, so we are selling these. I need to post about those more, and some pansies as well. These are some more pansies I need to transplant out. This bed is going to get dug out here probably this weekend, and then new compost put in here, and then I think this will be a whole Lizzie bed here, which will be a great kind of sampler of what the different colors we have. As you can see, we have quite a bit more colors this year than last, so I'm really excited about that. Last year I think I did like 5 colors of Lizzie's, and then I traded with another farmer. This year I'm starting with 11 or 12 different colors, so I may also do some trading with another farmer, because why not when I have the opportunity. But all this soil needs to be reworked and helped at this point. Plus there's a ton of weeds in this front bed that I'd like to take care of. Coming out here, hopefully it doesn't pour on me over here, but all of these ranunculus crates. You can see there's some yellowing going on, so I definitely need to feed these guys. Overall though, they're looking fine. They're definitely a little smaller coming out here, which does mean they'll probably be a little later. But there's also some that look very, very healthy. Here, this is the golds. You can see more dill everywhere. The purple is really interesting. I don't know if I gotta do some more research on these guys. The corms looked a little different, and there's definitely a little bit of purpling in the leaves going on. I'm not sure if that's an issue with the plant or if that's actually the purple color. The other ones don't seem to have that. So we will see how these go. I do have cloth and tent hoops to tent them if I need to. These are good down to 25 degrees. Really, at this point, if I need to tent them, it's most likely because they get too hot. And this gets a ton of sun here. So I have shade cloth also that I can put down. This year, we're going to be pulling up the black cloth here from all 3 rows and adding a bunch of more compost on top. These are no-till beds. So I need to weed out all those dandelions that you can see. And then I need to transplant all of the larkspur that self-seeded all over here, so that I can, there's even some in that second row over there. We had larkspur all here. It actually, I think, had like 4 or 5 cuts from the same plants last year, so I'm really excited that it's self-seeded. So I need to get those ready. I may actually, I'm going back and forth, I may do a row of Lizzies without tarp and plant them even closer together this year than that 6-inch spacing. You can really do about like 3-4, probably 4-inch, I think, is what I did in the raised beds last year. And they held each other up really well and they worked pretty good. I will probably put some netting over here because this does get some pretty good wind. So the perennial bed is going pretty strong at the moment for cuts. I lean on the perennials pretty heavily in that June lull. So I need to come in here and start trimming, but I don't need to do that for a little bit longer. We've got feverfew that overwintered. I've got columbine, tulips, irises, daffodils, lavender in here, sedum you can see, anise hyssop as well, and peonies are coming up finally, so I'm excited to see those. This is actually at a year that I should be able to start really doing some cuts from, so that's great. I've got transplanted some lupin in the back there. This is that big prickly flower, and it starts with an E, and I cannot think of the name. So I've got some of that. I've got a ton of yarrow right here. More irises there. There's bee balm in here. There's the big daisies are here as well, and a few other things. So this helps me with a lot of the filler, which is great. And then up here, this is our asparagus patch here. So I need to do some cleanup and fertilizing pretty quick here. And then the rhubarb is growing so quickly. Look how strong that stuff is. So this is the one from my mom, and then this is the one that I grew from seed. So this one's only about like 4 years old, and this one's probably like a 60-year-old plant. Just split. The delphiniums in the back of this bed did really well. So delphiniums are, I should be able to get 2 to 3 years topped. I think it's 2 years cuts out of them. So I bought plugs last year, and I have 2 different types. So you can see there's this more faint one that's like a blue and white, or purple and whitish, blue and white. And then there's the lighter blue more typical delphinium back there. Over here, the onions are doing pretty well. Thankfully, we haven't had turkey issues yet. The rain we're having now should help these really take off. We cleaned up this row, so I need to add, now that I have new compost from another local farm, I need to put the compost out on top of this, and then I'll be able to plant this row with another quite a bit of onions. And that should be about roughly over here, roughly about 1,000 onions, maybe a little more than 1,000 in these 4 rows. Back here, we've got our garlic. It's coming in really well. I do need to fertilize it, and the ground has actually dried out a lot. So that's really good, but of course we're getting more rain right now. We shouldn't get too much today, so hopefully it's not that bad. But overall, I'm pretty happy with how strong and the amount of garlic that we have coming up. It looks like we have almost pretty close to 100% germination. So I'm excited about that. That means that we have 500 heads of garlic here coming with no turkey issues yet. I'm going to keep saying that. And then back here, we still haven't been able to plant because of how wet it is. But this past week, it really dried out a lot better. So I'm hoping that we get a little bit more dry, and then we can start putting some beds in here of radishes. And then this will, we need to pick up all the rocks and everything that works out of the frost. Part of the wonders of New England is we garden for rocks every spring. But then we'll be able to make this more of a no-till situation going forward in theory, matching the rest of the gardens over here. And this is going to be our pumpkins and squash in area this year. So we will be putting, after sometime in late May, black plastic down and then hilling. So we have about 5-6 weeks before that, which means we could actually plant some radishes here if it gets dry enough for us to do that. So that was the goal all along. It's just a lot of rain. So as I'm saying that, it is starting to rain pretty good right now, so I'm going to go back inside. But I wanted to share all the Lizzie plugs because that's always really exciting. Like I said, if you buy 50 or more plugs, you get a discount. If you buy over 200 or 300, I will look at discounting those even further, but you must pick up here in North Central Massachusetts and be somewhat local. Information on the colors and the types is on our website, flickerhillhomestead.com. So please take a look, and if you have any questions, you can always message me on Facebook, email, or Instagram. I'm on all of those. And try to give you guys some more updates soon. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe and share what you're working on in your garden in this early spring.